Welcome to our YouTube channel dedicated to exploring the latest insights and opportunities in the world of finance and investments, with a special focus on currency revaluation, gold and silver investments, cryptocurrency, and make money online opportunities, and more. If you're interested in staying up to date on the latest developments in currency revaluation, particularly the Iraqi dinar and other currencies, best to subscribe to this channel. Please note that the content on this YouTube channel is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the opinions expressed on this channel are based on our own research and personal experience. We strongly recommend that you do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor. Also, just before we go any further, this channel has a weekly giveaway of 100 Dogecoin. To enter, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, like this video, and watch this video until the end, because if you don't, you will be automatically disqualified from the giveaway. We will be sharing the random hashtag keyword daily somewhere in the video, and then comment hashtag the keyword with no spaces in between in the comment section. Good luck! Now let's proceed with the latest Iraqi dinar news and intel today. Please take these pieces of information with a grain of salt, and please make sure to do your own due diligence. After all the noise and speculation, this week delivered something different: confirmation. Quiet shifts are happening inside Iraq's financial system that feel less like signals and more like setup. A major international body just stepped back and removed its final grip. The street economy and official markets are finally starting to speak the same language. Iraq is cleaning house in its own banking sector and globally positioning itself in ways that don't happen without major intent. There's even speculation from some insiders that the reset has already begun, and it might be time to get the champagne bottle ready. Whether you believe that or not, one thing's clear: these latest moves are calculated, coordinated, and no longer just talk. But if you blink, you might miss what all these pieces are actually pointing toward. So stick around and watch the full video, because by the end, I'll share my own take on how close Iraq might be to flipping the switch. Not in theory, but based on what they're actually doing. Let's get into the updates. From Intel Newshound Guru MarkZ via PDK. Article: Minister of Finance reveals the reason for the delay of approving the financial budget in Iraq. They say a lot of things are changing financially. Some kind of big change is coming to Iraq soon. They are hinting at it. Changing the value of the dinar would be a big change. I think this month is looking great. From Intel Guru Wolverine: It's happening, guys. I'm told to get out the champagne bottle. The reset has begun. From Intel Guru Frank26, Iraq Boots on the Ground report. From Firefly: We are seeing the parallel market price at $13.95. It's creeping even closer to the official $13.10. From Frank: Another amazing and positive thing: It is closing very quickly over the last 3 months. I'm excited to see what happens over the next 3 weeks with this rate. From Newshound Guru Clare. Article: The central bank embarrasses Iraqi banks. 13 of them are on the violations list. Quote: Official data issued by the Central Bank of Iraq revealed that only 11 of the 24 private commercial banks licensed to operate have not faced any punitive measures related to their transactions in US dollars. Full list of non-sanctioned banks: Bank of Baghdad, United Investment Bank, National Bank of Iraq, Iraqi Credit Bank, Economic Bank for Investment and Finance, Warka Bank for Investment and Finance, Gulf Commercial Bank, North Bank for Finance and Investment, Mansour Investment Bank, International Development Bank for Investment and Finance, Arab Iraqi Bank. From Newshound Guru Militia Man: I invested in the Iraqi dinar because of my experience in the past when I was trading gold stocks and such. A good friend shared with me something. He says, "Hey, have you ever heard of the Iraqi dinar?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, why don't you do me a favor? Will you study it for me and see what you think?" I said, "Sure, I'll do that." I found from the IMF a brief description of Iraq's currency. Back in those days, it was around $3.22. Just like gold and silver and precious metals, I believe Iraq is going to be asset forming. From Newshound Intel Guru Walkingstick: There are no sanctions on Iraq anymore. in any way, shape, or form. There are no sanctions. You have the IMF today giving permission for Iraq to do whatever they want to do with their exchange rate. The IMF has confirmed what is going on inside of the CBI and inside of Iraq. The handcuffs on their currency is gone. That's why you're seeing all of this now being said. Now, they're still in transition legally, and that's okay because we can keep them under our wing and protect their currency. But there are no active restrictions that remain right now on the CBI or their currency. From Intel Newshound guru MarkZ via PDK, we are seeing some craziness on aggregating professional sites with fluctuating rates and pairings. It's the pairings and pairing rates that are really unique. If they are accurate, we may be looking at a rate of $5 or so, if they are accurate. From Newshound guru Sandy Ingram. What is Article of Aid? Article of Aid outlines key rules for countries in the IMF framework. Member countries agree not to hinder international transactions for trade, services, or travel. They can't block money flowing in or out without IMF approval. It forbids discriminatory currency actions. It ensures convertibility of foreign-held currency. Member nations must convert foreign-held balances into their own currency or special drawing rights, SDRs, when used for acceptable currency transactions. Accepting Article 8 signals a country is committed to open and fair currency practices. It boosts trade, builds investor trust, and integrates the nation into the global economy. Iraq does not yet have Article 8 status. From Intel guru Frank26. The tariffs are playing a big part in Iraq's ability to do business internationally. The tariffs are handcuffing Iraq. All Sudani has to do is add value to your currency, and the tariffs will fall off immediately. From Newshound guru Caparoni. Question: what are your thoughts on what is moving forward with the IMF and Iraq for the near future? Iraq is making progress, improvements in the banking system. But as I said for years, until they have something to export and diversify their economy, nothing will change in regard to the value of the dinar. The IMF is basically saying what everyone's been saying for years. Before ending with the last updates, the hashtag keyword for the 100 Dogecoin giveaway is punitive. Comment below if you think we are close to the revaluation or the reinstatement of the dinar. You can be the lucky winner if you like, subscribe, and watched the main content of this video. This will be for this coming Sunday's giveaway, and the winner will be announced in one of the Sunday's videos, so you do not want to miss it. From Newshound guru Clare, article: the TIR agreement activates Iraq's transit economy, billions of dollars in revenue, and a trade corridor linking the Gulf to Europe. Quote, in a significant shift in the trajectory of the Iraqi economy and its efforts to diversify non-oil sources of income, the Iraqi government announced the country's official accession to the TIR convention. Experts and officials consider this move a key milestone in the Development Road Project, through which the government seeks to consolidate Iraq's position as a regional trade corridor linking the Gulf and Europe. From Newshound guru Militia Man. 5 years ago, we didn't have this information. We've been able to collectively follow along and see how everything has been converging. All the new technologies, new systems, e-government, all those things we didn't have before. It's a sad state if you're invested in the dinar and you think it's blah, blah, blah. Get caught up. And finally, the last update is from Intel guru Frank26. Is it the IMF that's going to pull the trigger? No, it's the CBI and Sudani. Now, granted, the IMF works with them and tells them and gives them permission to do so, but it's not them that pulls the trigger. Now that we've gone through all the updates, here's my personal take on where things stand right now when it comes to a potential revaluation or reinstatement of the Iraqi dinar. In my opinion, this week gave us some of the most substantial and credible signs we've seen in a long time. Not just talk, but actual movement. Let's start with what Walkingstick shared. He said there are no more sanctions or restrictions on Iraq's currency in any form, and that the IMF has confirmed Iraq can now do whatever it wants with its exchange rate. Now, that's a huge statement, but if we look at what the IMF has been saying lately, especially in its most recent consultations, it actually lines up. The IMF acknowledged that Iraq has eliminated multiple currency practices, MCPs, and no longer maintains current account exchange restrictions. These were major roadblocks in the past, so even if Iraq hasn't officially declared a switch to Article 8 yet, the handcuffs are off, and the CBI is now operating with far more freedom than it used to. That's a critical step toward exchange rate reform. Then we've got Clare's update about Iraq officially joining the TIR convention. For those who don't know, TIR is a UN-backed international customs system that allows for efficient transit of goods across borders, faster, with fewer delays, and minimal inspections. For Iraq to be accepted into that system, they had to prove a level of transparency, tracking, and institutional compliance. That's not a symbolic move, it's a strategic one. This ties directly into Iraq's larger plan to become a major trade and transit hub linking the Gulf to Europe through the Development Road Project. It also supports non-oil revenue growth, which strengthens Iraq's economic position and makes the case for a stronger dinar much more realistic. If you're trying to become a serious player in global trade, you can't operate with a currency no one trusts. You need monetary credibility, and that's what Iraq is clearly working toward. Now let's talk about Sandy Ingram's update, which I think is one of the most accurate and helpful breakdowns of IMF Article 8 out there. Article 8 is essentially the IMF standard for currency convertibility and international financial responsibility. It says a country must avoid currency discrimination, allow for the free flow of capital in and out, and eliminate restrictions on trade, travel, and investment. Sandy correctly pointed out that Iraq hasn't yet formally accepted Article 8 status, but based on everything Iraq has done recently, they are very close. The CBI has been steadily lifting restrictions, narrowing the gap between the official and market exchange rates, and complying with banking reforms that align with IMF benchmarks. According to the latest Article 4 consultation, Iraq is already behaving as if it were under Article 8. They've just not made it official yet. Why does that matter? Because Article 8 is the gateway to international legitimacy. It's what signals to investors, institutions, and other countries that Iraq's currency is ready to be trusted, traded, and respected. And most importantly, it's a critical foundation for any RV or RI to take place in a credible, sustainable way. So putting it all together, Walkingstick's point about the handcuffs being off, Clare's confirmation of Iraq's strategic economic positioning through the TIR agreement, and Sandy's breakdown of how close Iraq is to full Article 8 compliance, it's clear to me that Iraq is not standing still. They're making calculated structural moves. This isn't hype. This isn't recycled guru talk. These are actual institutional reforms being confirmed by international bodies like the IMF and the UN. And in my opinion, all of these developments combined are laying the exact kind of foundation you'd expect to see before a major change in the value of a national currency. We may not have a date, and we shouldn't expect one, but if you're following the reforms instead of the rumors, it's hard to ignore how much progress has been made. That's my final take for now. When the infrastructure is built, when the restrictions are lifted, and when the trade routes are opening, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. That's all for the latest updates on the Iraq dinar. What are your thoughts of all the articles or news coming from Iraq and opinions from these intel providers? Furthermore, we posted a breaking analysis the other day. Iraq just made a major move toward joining the World Trade Organization by completing comprehensive technical responses, an essential step that signals a shift toward full international integration. While this might seem like a routine headline, it's actually one of the strongest signs that Iraq could be preparing to move off the program rate and take the dinar global. In this video, I broke down how this development ties directly into the RVRI process, how it connects with IMF Article 8 compliance, and why this moment could indicate the beginning of the end for the 1300 rate. If you've been watching for the clues and waiting for confirmation that Iraq is ready, this is the update you don't want to overlook. Most people will miss the significance until it's too late. Lastly, we will continue to post videos about the recent events and articles supporting the changes taking place in Iraq, so you don't want to miss them. Also, don't forget, please drop a comment below with hashtag and the keyword and let us know what you think. If you like this content and like to support this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified when new videos are uploaded. See you on the next one.